Well, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. I know I am. Just got off of work and I'm ready to get back into some Monument Mythos. We've got some people in the chat. We've got A and Spectre799. Welcome, guys. Speaking of, I'm not totally sure what you mean with that question. A, what did y'all do before the stream? Are you meaning like what I do personally, or what like I have going on, like literally before the stream, like what I'm doing right now? I'm just a little bit confused. I want to be able to answer your question properly. Oh yeah, I work usually. This is just a hobby. I have big girl adult work I gotta do before I do these streams. That's why they happen so late. But we are going to get right into this today because we've got two pretty long ones, and with how kind of long it takes me to get through some of these with writing notes and all of that. Yeah, I want to try and get through these two, and they're both, well, actually, no, one of them is 16 minutes long, the other's 5, so it's just this big chunky one that I want to get through at least. But we are going to be going through, as the pinned comment says, Washington, Wonderland, and Air Force One Fallen Angel. And after that, there's only 2 more videos, which means one more stream. Woo! We did it, y'all. Oh, we almost did it. We're getting there. But we're gonna go ahead and begin. So let's bring it up on stream for everybody. I also have my So we've got Washington Wonderland is the first one we're gonna be doing. So we can already see something's gonna get weird because it's saying after an unsuccessful lobotomy, Virginia Fate Arnoldson provided a more complete account of the Rockefeller Tree tragedy. So, already very, very, yeah. Gonna be spicy. I can already tell. It also says in the little description, a statement from Mays Everett Arnoldson, commonly referred to as the 20th Washington absentee, is a humanoid creature that is purported to inhabit the forest of the Washington zone. Have you ever seen Everett? Share your sightings on Twitter. Oof. I'm gonna put in my little thing with question marks because I don't know exactly where to put it yet. Virginia Fate Arnoldson has a failed lobotomy. And then provides a more complete account of Rockefeller Tree tragedy. This is going to be interesting. This is her account. Oof.
When I was little.
Okay, I'm going to put this in little quotes. When I was little,
something went wrong with me.
Something went wrong with me.
And everything switched.
And everything switched. Remember, she was the girl, or one of the kids, that was at the Rockefeller Plaza when the special tree freaked out. She put the star at the top of the tree and then was teleported into, I think she went from our world to the Monument Mythos realm or reality, which is very freaky. Everything is backwards. Nobody recognized her. Details from history were completely different that she just didn't understand. Parents didn't recognize her. She didn't recognize her parents. Very scary.
Even my parents, I knew ones did not like me.
Even my parents. My new ones did not like me, so they left me. Oh, that's fucked up.
So they left me. My foster parents did not like me either.
My foster parents did not like me either. Oh my god. This poor girl. Not like me either. I cannot imagine.
I was left at an orphanage.
So I was left at an orphanage. It is very fucked, Spectre. I can't imagine. Those are just bad people. Those are bad people in my opinion. Some of my friends were better off. Well, I can't. She's gone through so much trauma. I can't imagine.
We were left at the orphanage.
Many were left at an orphanage too.
We loved each other.
We loved each other. We stuck together.
We stuck together until we were 18. Then we were separated.
Until we were 18, then we were separated.
The military took the boys and the doctor.
The military took the boys, okay. Military took the boys and the doctors took the girls.
Boys took the girls. They probably do not remember the tree.
They probably do not remember the tree anymore. I would think that they'd block it out. That's just my opinion.
Soon, I will not remember either.
Soon I will not remember either. This is just heartbreaking for me.
I hope you will remember.
But I hope you will remember. She's telling us because she knows she's gonna forget. And so that we know her story.
Remember for me?
We're gonna remember. Promise. We all remember now.
When the tree changed me, I was...
When the tree changed me, I was not scared.
not scared. At first, I did not know.
First, I did not know what was wrong with me.
What's wrong with me? When my eyes adjusted, I was in a field of special...
Oof. My eyes adjusted. I was in a field of special trees. So what she's saying, and if I'm gonna remember correctly from what Wendigoon said, or how he explained it, is that before she was transported from her world to the Monument Mythos world, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, she was stuck in the realm in which the special trees reside. The special trees do not come from our reality or the Monument Mythos reality. They come from something in between. And that's what she's explaining right here.
special trees. I was reminded of a story my mom told.
I was reminded of a story my ma told me.
Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh. Alice in Wonderland. Very good story.
This was my Wonderland.
This is my Wonderland. And if I remember correctly, this Wonderland is insanely scary. I held myself close and looked up.
Looked up. The trees looked like they ended.
The trees looked like they ended.
But above them, they
But above them were upside down trees. So creepy. Just like the image of that is very creepy to me.
there were upside down trees, and above those,
And above those were upright trees. Eee. Above those were upright trees.
there were upright trees, like they were being reflected.
They were being reflected forever. That
Forever.
weird.
The pattern repeated for like
Pattern repeated for as far as I could see.
far as I could see. I looked down, and
I looked down and I thought I was on solid ground. You're not. You're in a weird outer dimensional thing.
I thought I was on solid ground. But when I looked more closely, I was sitting on a thin,
But when I looked more closely, I was sitting on a thin, floating layer of dust.
floating layer of dust. It smelled like baby powder.
It smelled like baby powder. See, if I remember correctly, there was a mention of the Mount Rushmore smelling like baby powder when the weird stuff started happening over there.
And through the dust, I could see the start of another tree.
And through the dust, I could see the start of another tree.
And below that one, there was
And below that one was another and another.
another, and another, an infinity of trees.
An infinity of trees. Yikes.
While I played with the dust, I heard distant footsteps.
While I played with the dust, I heard distant footsteps. I may just go through this a little bit faster and not type everything out. I'll come back at a later date and type this stuff out because it's not like the other stuff where I can just type it en masse and then move on a little bit and type it en masse again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
They grew louder and louder. Then there were bright flashes of light all around me. Out from these lights, hundreds of people ran out. One man came up to me and whispered, "The trees are not the trees."
Weird. Continue at later date. Alright. Now that I made a note to myself. Alright. Oh, by the way, we are at 131 entries in this sheet.
He had such sad, tired eyes. As he picked me up and put me on his shoulders, he said, "You could be her. Anyone could be her. I promise I will not leave you."
Sounds like this guy has been there for a while and has gone through this before. So I'm assuming that a lot of people have been dealing with this. It could be people from other entries that we've dealt with. Don't know.
There was a bright flash, and we were in another field. He was sitting in front of me with his hand out. Another flash, and we were both running past through the woods. Another flash, and we were both lying on the ground, looking at infinity. Every few seconds there was a flash, and we would be doing something else again.
It seems like the trees are like moving time along in a very weird manner. And that's really insane to me. It really is. It's absolutely insane how a lot of this is happening. And it's like that feeling when you just black out and lose, like, parts of time is what that sounds like. I don't know what that means, Spectre, but I'm going to assume that you're right on with your your observation or comparison.
And again, over and over and over. It would not stop. It felt like forever. Years of flashes. I was so angry at first. But soon, I had those sad, tired eyes of his too.
Yeah, he's been there for a long while.
Tired. Every now and then we would flash to another layer of dust. Above or below. Who knows? But we would always see the climbers. I think there were people who tried to climb the trees while they were...
Weird. I can... So I guess that people have different reactions when they're in this world. And it seems like what's happening is that people end up in this world because they interact with the trees in one way or another. They either just become defeated, like Virginia and this guy are, or they just lose their minds trying to escape like these climbers. And that's scary. Wow! So basically, during those flashes, if you fell, you became the dust. So all this dust might be people. What the fuck? And if you don't...
climb the trees while they were flashed around.
If you're flashing around, or if you're on the tree while being flashed, this happens. Wow. That's nuts.
Maybe the dust was the people that fell. The man was always with me. He kept me safe the whole time. It must have been years. It felt like 500 years. I named him Everett.
Everett. Okay, so this is Everett. I'm going to put another entry in here. Virginia meets Everett Arnoldson while in I'm going to say Wonderland. That's what I'm going to say.
He was always there. He never left me. Everett was my best friend. Then on one random day, one random time, all the trees went, and a flash brought me back to New York.
Wow.
All my friends were around me, but this was another New York.
So this is where we see her coming back to the Monument Mythos side of things. That's nuts.
I did something wrong, and I lost like it. I ruined everything. I should have stayed home that night. Why did I not stay home? I lost everything. For me and my friends, I ruined their lives. I will not tell you about the orphanage. It was a hard time. I
can imagine.
Memories of the orphanage to myself.
I can only imagine the amount of pain that this poor girl went through dealing with all of this. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine that at all. Absolutely horrifying and sad, and I hope people don't experience the kind of stuff she experienced. I mean, there's got to be something going on if they tried to give her a lobotomy. Like, period.
They do not matter to you. When I was 18, I left the orphanage. I looked for my new parents. They were not together anymore.
Oof. Definitely, like, worse than a shitty Monday. Like, this life-altering event didn't just destroy her life, it destroyed the lives of her alternate reality parents. It probably destroyed the life of alternate reality her. It destroyed the lives of her friends. Wow. Dark. Doesn't believe.
She did not let anyone into her house.
That doesn't even begin to cover it, man. Dark doesn't begin to cover how her life was. I can't even imagine.
All because of me. I wanted my old parents back. I went to the Rockefeller Center for an answer. The tree stood at the top of the plaza, above everyone else. I was never supposed to visit again, but I did, and I spoke to her. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. It was cold, and I could not move. But soon, I could understand. She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York.
So basically she's saying, or I'm guessing she's talking about the tree's got some sort of weird, she's referring to the tree as she, which is very odd to me. And I'm not totally sure what that means. I can only assume that the tree is taking on some sort of form in order to communicate with Virginia, or Virginia just losing her mind, either way. But the tree is saying, in order for you to go back home, you need to give another life, which I wouldn't want to do, if I were perfectly honest. But then again, Virginia's probably out of her mind.
She said, come back in 3 years. And I did. I waited. 1,095 days. I returned 3 years later. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. It was cold, and I could not move. But eventually, I could understand. She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York. She said, come back in 3 years.
Totally okay, Mateus. It happens. Kind of glad you came a little late, because then you wouldn't have to worry about, the foray earlier. But, yeah. So far, we're just, listening to Virginia tell about her time, in between her realm or our realm and the Monument Mythos realm and Wonderland, she called it, and now she's talking about seeing the tree at the top of I think you said the building, Empire State Building or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm kind of, yeah. I'm kind of trying to piece this together in my brain as best I can.
I did. I waited 1,095 days.
Why did it go back?
A secret agent.
Hold on.
For my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home.
I don't know why I'm skipping backwards.
She said, come back in 3 years. And I did. I waited 1,095 days. While I waited, I met a man. He was a very important man. A secret agent. He followed me.
Secret agent man. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to. But, yeah, this is a bit insane. It's just, there's so many twists and turns in this that I'm trying to keep up, but I'm having a hard time.
Everywhere. One day, I found him waiting inside my house. He told me that he was here to monitor me. No. To watch and protect me. But he had fallen in love with me. No one else liked me.
Weird.
So we took each other. We grew close.
Weird, but with what she said already about her life since the incident, I wouldn't be surprised that she just took the first person that showed her any kind of affection. That poor woman, I can't even imagine.
Leonard loved me.
Name is
I
Leonard,
loved him too. Together, we had a baby boy. I named him Everett.
Oh, Everett again.
Little Everett was inside for 9 months when I saw the tree again. She put directions in my head.
Wait. So, is the Everett that she met in Wonderland the same Everett as her baby? Did he just, like, end up stuck there? It's like a weird time loop that if that's what that is, that's insanity. Because that's what it sounds like it is it's just like this weird time loop of events where she meets her child in the past somehow. Or she's just naming her kid Everett because of her connection with the person she met in Wonderland. Maybe Mythos or somebody that's more involved or more knowledgeable about the universe can explain that to me a little bit at some point. But I'm trying to parse things together as best I can.
I followed those directions. I walked for 4 days. I wanted to go home so badly. But I became so happy when I could hear the music.
Oh, no.
It was like the tree's voice, but warm. The Washington Monument looked much bigger in person. Its door went up high, like it was for something much bigger. Then I went inside. There were bodies everywhere. The breeze told me to relax. I went on the elevator.
Oh!
All the way up. It stopped at the top, and the music blared.
Whoa. Oh my god. Okay. Everything is just clicked together. Wow. Okay. Yep, from the future. The future! Wow. Mr. MANTICORE. Brava. This is insanity.
It was so loud I could not move. The floor opened, and I fell all the way down. I felt myself hit the ground. Then I kept drifting down, past the ground,
into the reality,
past rock, sand, and magma, through the layers of earth. It must have been years. It felt like 500 years.
She said that earlier. It felt like 500 years.
Then I reached the other side, and I felt myself rising through all the layers of earth, past the magma, sand, and rock, past the ground, back into a body. Another body. Almost the same body. And flattened, like a little red pancake. But I felt so empty. My belly had sunk.
Yep.
Little Everett was not with me anymore.
Because you were not pregnant in the other reality. Woo! That is deep. Ooh, chills. Got chills all up and down my arms. Ooh, damn.
And others laid around me, pregnant like me, almost alive and completely still. But little Everett was nowhere. While everyone else exchanged for their own lives themselves, I must have exchanged little Everett for mine. I cried. I cried for years. It went all blood into the ground for years.
That makes exactly what was said by that person, by that Everett. Makes sense. You look like her, may not be her. But he protected her because he already knew that was his mother. Oof. I may be reading into this a little bit too much. I don't know, but this is great. Great storytelling.
Did they like pain? Did they drink our blood? Was there any reason for any of it? I rest, little Everett. He had no say. He did not even say his first word. I ruined his life from the start. Maybe he lives in Wonderland. I hope he lives in Wonderland.
He does.
One day,
you met him.
One random day, the music grew, and there was the brightest flash. We found ourselves outside, at the base of the tower. The tree had been freed, and we were in a field of trees. Wonderland had risen, but little Everett was still missing. We were all lifted out in helicopters. I was at the hospital faster than ever before. They told me it was 2003.
Hold on. Backing it up. 2003. That happened in 2003. A lot of things. Yee. 2003 was when all of the Rushmore revenge stuff happened. When the Air Force One Angel thing happened. Oh boy, the lore is deep with this, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between.
They told me everything I knew was wrong. They told me everyone I knew
was dead.
And now they plan to fix me. I'm sorry, Pa. I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry, Leonard. And I'm so, Everett. Please remember me. Please, please remember me.
After a second lobotomy, Virginia never spoke again. Late in her life, she produced a series of paintings called The Right Life. Ooh. But she didn't die. She woke up again in 2003. Oh, that is so funny. There you go. There's Washington Wonderland. Last one we're doing today is Air Force One Fallen Angel. This one I'll do the updates and stuff for. The last one I wanted to get through because it was going to take way too long to type out everything she said. I'll go back and do that myself. But, yeah. That's nuts. Air Force One Fallen Angel. That's nuts. Alright, next one. Air Force One Fallen Angel. Simulation of strike, property of Maze. Oh, it says under here, statement from Maze. Both Anti-Device Association and the Splinter Group Advocates for the Division of America are criminal organizations. If you encounter members of either group, please report them to your local authorities. The 2003 World Egg Transmission was produced digitally by the ADA and converted to an analog signal for broadcast. I'm assuming the advocates for the Division of America were the Anti-Dean Association. Was I anywhere close to on point for that, Mateus? I'm assuming that the Everett she met, or Virginia met in Wonderland, is her baby from, like, a different time period. Am I wrong? Am I right? I'm trying to connect some dots. Also says UZA maps are updated yearly to reflect the expanding nature of the three zones. Keep up with the latest developments on Twitter. Okay. Simulation of strike. August 2003. Okay, so let's... August 2003. Let's pop that in there. And this needs to go... Doesn't flow normally in Wonderland. I figured it was the same Everett. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I figured that I had the right track. I'm assuming this is right where we were with... where is it? Air Force One Angel. So... After making various stops across the United States, the Air Force One flew into the restricted airspace of Washington, D.C. Also, the tree lady, it goes back to the line from Rockefeller Jr. that the tree in the plaza resembles a man more than any tree. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Alcatraz Island multiplies. I saw that part. Rising and armed. I'm gonna put this at the bottom of the Rushmore Revenge, I think. 3. Air Force One. Wait, no, that was actually only for a week, wasn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna put it right after that. I'm gonna put it right after that instead. The Air Force One Angel thing. I'll put it right after that. Insert that there. Flies into restricted space of DC. After an extensive evaluation, the United States Air Force took action and shot it down. Mission accomplished. Wow, that's very odd that it's cut up in that way. There's 3 different, and that doesn't stop. That's very odd. Legally known as the United Zones of America. Oh, okay. That's very odd. Okay. I'm assuming that all of this is in the same time period, but I'm not totally sure. So I'm gonna put this in a different spot, and then I'll just confer later. I'll confer with it later. Let's at least get this started. Monument. America is divided into the United Zones of America, with 3 zones total. One Alcatraz zone, California, lower, I would say the southwest zone area of the continent, to Rushmore zone, northwest area to middle of mid-southern area of continent, and then 3, what's the Washington zone. Weird. Washington zone, East Coast, and mid-northern area of continent to East Coast of continent. That's very odd. Okay. Capitals. Okay, what's the capitals? What are the capitals? Capital is waste. Remember when Virginia came back 2003, she said that Wonderland had risen and we saw drawings of a giant forest of trees. That's the Washington zone and is why the area stretches on. Got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Washington zone is where all trees arose during in 2003. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. Alright, what's the capital of, Pahasapa? Those are some weird names. Pahasapa. I wonder why they're called that. Capital is Pahasapa. I wonder what all of it means. I'm just curious. Capital is... What's the last one? Not Coach Tank. Ex Tribus Unum. Saying is Ex Tribus Unum. American names for the areas corresponding with San Francisco, Mount Rushmore, and Washington, D.C. Oh! Huh. Makes a lot of sense. Capital names are associated with our Native American names associated with areas of San Francisco, Mount Rushmore, and DC. Thank you for that input. I will keep that. Ex Tribus Unum. That's out of 3, 1. Out of 3, 1. Ooh. Al Gore is the president now? Oh my lord. Okay. Al Gore is president. I'm gonna have to go looking all this up now. ADA. But I'm assuming that the Advocates for the Division of America is the Anti-Gene Association, just rebranded. The bad ending. I don't know. People would say otherwise. Worse ending. But still. ADA releases another... ADA now named the Advocates for the Division of America. We're gonna do that. Send out another political propaganda. That's what I need. Propaganda piece. I'll have to go and play around with dates for certain things, like when certain presidents became president and stuff like that. Alright, let's... Ah! Poo. Okay, go back. Al Gore's America is a shell for the true ruler beneath our feet. It is time for the underground god to leave. That does not belong here. Not belong here. The world egg cannot hatch without force. The world egg cannot hatch without force. We must fracture the zones ourselves. We must split the earth open. Once it leaves, there will be peace and a state for each and every person. That doesn't make any sense to me, but no more zones. For the cracks will be borders. No more zones. For the cracks will be the true borders. This is like some weird shit. 1,000 states of America are 1,000 states of peace. 1,000 states of America are 1,000 states of peace. We are no longer the anti-device ADA that became too extreme for the ADA, so you can imagine, yeah. ADA. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Put this in my notes somewhere. ADA rebranded as Anti-Device Association Advocates for the Division of America are an extremist branch of that group. Okay. We are no longer the Anti-Device Association. We are the advocates for the Division of America. How will we divide the land? With our fallen angel, of course. This is so... Who would have thought that he would land on the tomb of the unknown soldier? I'm assuming that something else. We found him before anyone else, burnt and broken from the blast. Atom bomb. Yikes. We fix him. He will be a walking atom bomb. Big ol' yikes. We fix the horned serpent. We will evict the horned serpent the same way he evicted the traitor President Rockefeller. Yikes. I can't stop saying yikes because it's just creepy from reality. It's very creepy. That's the worlding, I'm assuming. Advocates for the division of big ol' friggin' yikes. Don't tread on me taken way too far. The unification of 1980 was short-lived as state borders were restored by the end of the decade. Okay. Air Force Angel Monument. There was a unification of 1980. 1980. Enacted. I don't know what that means when I say by the end of the decade. I'm going to say 1989 then. Unification of 1980 abolished. And state borders restored. I'm gonna do this then. I think that's what this is supposed to be. So I'm going to add it here. I'm going to assume that that video that we saw was all the stuff happened back in 2003. Washington Monument breaking, special trees growing out of a Rushmore. Yeah, Alcatraz going insane. That was advocated by the Angel working with the Advocates. Gotcha. That's pretty nutso. I'm just gonna say. So I'm gonna say this is 1980. And then put this up in 1980 area in my little sheet. I'm gonna set this here. And then 1989, since it says by the end of the decade. I'll get that later. End of the decade. However, due to the extent of the unification of 2003, state borders are not expected to be restored within the century. Yikes. Okay. So I'm gonna grab that. That 1989-ish. Boop. And then 2003. Fucked up geography of the United States split into 3 zones. Okay, so then what's the unification of 1980? Is that just the name of this? Or is this something different? 2003. 1980 is when we see the picture saying Maze was attacked. Showing hundreds of special trees blasting. Lightning presumably affected the country, but it's lost. Okay. So there's 2 different unifications then. And I'll have to put that in there. So I will pop this under... Yep, it was that. Okay. I will put this under the Rushmore Revenge thing. Excuse me. Unification of 2003. My base computer factories were all shut down. Got it. That's all. This is just like so out there and weird, and I love it. Reenacted. Stopping the restoration of state borders for at least next century. ADA refuses to recognize the 3 zones in the capitals. It is 1980. I'm gonna grab this and that's there, and then I'm gonna pop this in that. 2003. It's 2021. There we go. All right, that should be cool. That should be fine. And I think almost done with. Oh, whoa! What is that? That's fallen angel on the tomb of the unknown soldier. Photograph property of Maze. I'm going to do this. 2003 monument picture. Picture the fallen angel on the tomb of the unknown soldier taken by ADA. That's pretty creepy. Not gonna lie. This is gonna be one hell of a video when I put this on. But, yeah. The angel looks so cool. They're like a glowing nervous system made of energy. Yeah, it is pretty insane, Mateus. And I very much enjoy what Alex Kansas / Mr. Manticore has done. The tomb is like 10 feet tall, so the angel is massive. Yeah. Has to be. Has to be absolutely freaking massive. But that's it for today. We have 2 more videos to do in the next stream, which is Liberty Lurkers and Alcatraz Apocalypse. And then we're done with watching the Monument Mythos on stream. Thank you guys for coming by. I absolutely appreciate the support and the clarification from those of you who are more familiar with this stuff. And with that, have a wonderful evening and sweet nightmares.
Bite me one time, bite me twice. Oh, that's rather nice. Frankenstein, freaks and grunge, scream out loud, you're out of luck. Crime so beastly, can't get enough. Ooh, it's all psychotic love. I start to turn when all the streets are moving. I suck 'em dry and rip off all the skin bits. 'Cause freaky horror films, I'll always be a fan. From Nosferatu right up to Train to Busan. And what a beautiful werewolf queen we have inside it. To slice a path of hell with a foul death beside it. Spooky sounds, blood and brains, hunted down by the insane. Crime so beastly, can't get enough. Ooh, it's all psychotic love.